Within the sales order overview page, as you can see, we have no module here for that as well. We need to create a new one. In order to do so, we can go back to our folder. Don't forget to hit the Shift key in order to just get the technology you actually want. Starting the X-scan again, we will only see the screens that are important to us. For example, the overview screen of the creation of the sales order. We can take a benefit of the same functionality as you've already seen, which should make it easy for you to just select the controls you actually want. In our case, our most used controls are the sold to party, maybe the ship to party, customer reference, the reference date might be interesting. Don't forget the tabs, and because the table is basically the most important thing here, we can also take the table into consideration. Having that page scanned, we need to take a deeper look into it. As you can see here, we need to rename the module again. But this time, I'm going to do that in the module section. We do have an iframe that is reflecting the same iframe again. And here we do have a special name called Create Spectre Standard Order, which is most likely not always that very case. So the module itself and also the documents that you can see here have a very specific title that we actually do not really want. But what we can do is we can use wildcards to make it more generic. As you can see here, we are here in a sales order overview that might have any name, but it will most likely always have overview in it. So we can just use an asterisk to have a wildcard there. Same goes for the title of the second document. And you should already also rename them, the documents here. And what you can also do, or have to also do, is the first object here is actually the identification of the screen itself. And we also need to do a wildcard here. If you would be in SAP WinGUI, you can just solely have the asterisk, since SAP WinGUI is also identified just by its type, and you don't need any further text or information in there. SAP Fiori is slightly different, since you are having an HTML page, and there might be more HTML pages open at once. We are going to rename it later. The iframe looks like it's stable as well. Sold to party is identified by title and not by ID. As you can see, this ID is some kind of randomish, so please don't trust it in this case. Customer reference, then we have the tab panel. In our case, I do not really like the auto text as identification, because the auto text for the tab panel is basically the names of all the tabs, and it would not be recognized if there is a tab more or a tab less. So we're gonna remove it. Luckily, it's still unique. If it wouldn't be unique, you would need to add other identification parameters in order to make it unique, like, for example, a class panel. We can just additionally do that to have it more, to be more on the safe side. As you can see here, our table is called all items, all items, all items. This is not required for a business user to see, so we just can call it all items. And it's a table name that has a very strange table name, so we can use a wildcard here as well. And we are lucky, it's still uniquely identified, but in a little bit smoother way. Finishing that one off, we can go back to our to our module section here. As said, you want to have a very specific naming on all those modules, so we're just gonna simply rename it according to our guidelines. Let's create sales order, and this is the overview. What I forgot here is that on this page, you actually also do have a save button. So in order to get that save button as well, we can just simply hit rescan. The rescan is automatically fetching the right tab according to its identification criteria and is loading the whole structure. We can again use select on screen to get our save here. Make sure it's uniquely identified and save and close the application. We have our save as well here. Going back to our test case, we can just simply add the newly created module by using search in the test tab. We can just say VA01, and we want to have the overview. As you can see here and also in the notepad, this is exactly what we're searching for. Filling out the values we actually need, you can just enter the business values we have here. In our case, it's 1 million is our sold to party. Then we have the customer reference. Just type anything in here. And within our table, we need to make sure that in the first row, we're gonna have a very specific material, which we actually want to input. So if you're using the material, it's a 10-digit material, and we are also using the order quantity as an input, which is 1. So we can test this off right away, and it should fill the sold to party, the customer reference, and also the material. Perfect. Since the rest of the test execution is already created, the save is included in the buffer order number, we can just simply execute the last steps here. And as you can see, we do have the execution currently running, saving our order and going through the delivery and the remaining steps. The windows for creation of delivery and for the invoicing can be scanned in the same way as you have seen for the create sales order process. You just simply need to scan the corresponding modules, make sure that they are in a nice structure, and you can just simply use them for your automation and execute your test case. So the delivery has been saved now. Now let's go to the last file, which is the create billing documents. And in here, we just enter the document number. We execute it, and we're going to save our invoice from it. Test case is finishing off with the logout. And that was it. As you can see, the whole process has been gone through, and our execution is completed. Thank you very much.